Hey, it's me, Marvin. What's gonna be right? So I got just finished watching. Kind of like I just finished watching this thing called The Last Full Show. Um, it's about this dude who the setting is the Philippines, and this young kid, he's probably like I'm guessing 17, maybe somewhere around there. Um, he's gay. He's kind of just starting out, and when you're really that young and you don't have much experience behind you, just kind of like everything's new to you, and you're just like you just want to try stuff out and just see what it's like. And so I guess he must have heard about this movie theater where apparently guys go to cruise, and so he went there for the first time and he sat down. It's a pretty bad theater. It's like rats in there, and got like these random guys just giving blowjobs to other guys in the dark and crap. And so he goes to this theater and he sits there, and the first guy that comes up to him is like this older dude. He pulls up his shirt he wants him to lick it or something. And then he's like, dude, he's really intimidated. One and two, he's probably not his type either. So he moves down a couple seats, and then these other two guys who are like regular but not as sketchy looking. They're kind of like that. They kind of see him, like one of them like, hey, why don't you go talk to that one little twink guy, whatever, really young guy? And he's like, okay, I will. And he went, he sat next to him, and just kind of look at each other off and on. And he's the older one. He's like, probably, I'm guessing at least 12 years old or something like that. So probably in his 30s or something like that. And you can tell they kind of like each other. And then you're not sure if anything happened, but I'm assuming something must have happened. And then, it kind of progresses, and they end up seeing each other again in the bathroom, I guess, on another night. And the young guy kind of steps up to him a little bit, and they kind of begins like a string of like kind of dating. They kind of start seeing each other on a regular basis, but it's kind of odd because the other guy who's a regular there, he has a friend who used to go with and hang out with all the time, and also his friends like he doesn't like him seeing this young guy because one, it's illegal, and two, he just doesn't like this thing isn't gonna really go anywhere, and he's probably also a little bit jealous because he sees his friend is like now happy. That's the weird thing about that. Um, when we have our friends and when we see them being happy, sometimes it bothers us because now we're like, well, because one, it kind of separates you, it makes you different. And you kind of like when we were just saying, like, when we were just both going, not dating anyone, it made things so much easier. We had that in common, and I always had someone there for me, and blah, blah, blah. But as soon as your friends start dating someone else, it does make things different and awkward. You really can't be the way you were before they were dating whoever they're dating because their life changes, and change can be tough for anyone to take on. So his friend didn't like that, obviously, but his friend was still there for him. And so what I like about this story is that they were able to tell a good story visually in under 20 minutes. a lot of There are movies that go on for like 2 and 3 hours and still can't tell a good story. And it's really got down to kind of like the bare essentials of everything. And it's got together, and I see why it was scored high. It has like a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. You see, and it's a reason for that because I like the fact that it was short. And since it's short going into it, if you have that information, you're like, okay, you're more willing to kind of invest in the story because like, okay, well, this is gonna last very long, so just kind of like watch it, see where it's gonna go. You're kind of curious, like how much of a story can they tell in just 18 minutes, right? And apparently that's enough time to tell a good story. And not that it went super super in depth, but you pretty much got what was going on. And what come to find out later on, the young guy ends up giving the older guy like this little necklace thing, and kind of like as a symbol of like, hey, I like you, and I want you to have this. Is something that means something to me, and I want you to have it. And then what ends up happening though is that after they come out the restaurant for him getting the necklace, the young boy, he has like a chaperone or his father. I'm not really sure who this dude is that drives him around. There's some guy that drives a young guy around, and I bet he knows him obviously. But it's weird. It's like we don't really know. But when he goes back to goes back to the guy who has the car, who drives him around everywhere. He gets in the car, and then the other guy, the driver dude's like, he sees the other guy. He's like, something's up. He's like, he probably just can kind of tell the other guy's like gay. And the other guy tries to like nod at him friendly, like, and he also sees that necklace, and he's like, wait a minute, that necklace belongs to that boy. And so why is he wearing? Why is this older guy wearing this necklace? And so obviously he's putting two and two together that he's gay and that he's seeing this young kid. And of course, the driver dude doesn't like him. He knows the kid, and he's really protective of him and stuff. And so another night or two passes, and the older guy is set to have another little date with the young guy at the movie theater where they met, right? And so the young guy goes there and he waits for the guy, and he waits for the guy, and he waits for the guy, and the guy kind of runs late. And so finally, the guy gets to the theater, and the driver dude gets out, and he goes to the line too, basically kind of like saying how that necklace that the other guy has, he probably should get rid of it, or he shouldn't really have it. And I mean, he just basically said, in not so many words, that if you keep seeing this kid, something's gonna happen, something bad's gonna happen. And the guy didn't want anything bad to happen, so it was like, so basically just kind of like just didn't show up for the date. It's kind of sad. It's like, oh, kind of sad, but at the same time, you're like, the kid got his experience, and he had a nice long life ahead of him, so he has more opportunities to meet other men and date and stuff like that. But it was kind of sad, 'cause, like, they actually liked each other, and even though the relationship really couldn't go much of anywhere, because the other guy, he worked, and the other guy was in school, and they were just in two different stages of life. And I thought it was a good story. It was interesting. I generally cared about these characters in this little limited amount of time they gave you to really watch them, and I think they told a good story in a short amount of time. And you don't a lot of times see a lot of good gay short stories. A lot of times they're just kind of like, the gay spectrum just has like normally like these extreme ends. So either one is thinly disguised porn, or two is trying to do too much, or three super stereotyped characters, which can go trying to do too much, that you really can't identify with. And I understand, there's a reason why stereotypes exist, because some of these do exist, On certain levels, there are those stereotypes in the world, but not everybody's like that. And most people really can't relate to those stereotypes. It's like, okay, yeah, there are some people like that, yes, in the world, or it's close to that. But at the same time, you're like, for the average guy, you're like, I can't relate to that, And when you have something you really can't identify with, it makes it harder for you to get into a story. You try to see it from their point of view, but it's a lot easier if it's someone you can kind of more readily identify with. And these guys were just kind of like, normal Joes, just, living life and just trying to understand things as they came. And so I enjoyed it. I would watch it. I'd recommend to my friends to watch it. I should really be a movie reviewer, huh? So this is me, Marvin Lee.